All right, hello and welcome back, friends. Anthony Florio back with you here on the Zone 25 here on YouTube.com. The second video tonight to make up for the cancellation of Strictly Sports tonight. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the fallout from the Penn State child sex abuse scandal. It was on Friday. No, I'm sorry. It was on Monday of this week that NCAA President Mark Emmert uh, imposed the following sanctions against Penn State for all of the violations that occurred during this child sex abuse scandal. Of course, you know the whole situation by now. Jerry Sandusky and all that. I really don't want to get into that, but I definitely want to get into my thoughts on all the fallout here. For those of you who don't know, the following sanctions were imposed against Penn State by NCAA President Mark Emmert this week, and they are as follows: 5 years probation, a 4-year postseason ban, vacation of all wins from 1998 to 2011, a total of 112 wins, had the effect of stripping the Nittany Lions of their shared Big Ten titles in 2005 and 2008, also removed 111 wins from Joe Paterno's record, dropping him from first all the way down to 12th on the NCAA's all-time wins list. Of course, with that, that now makes former Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden the all-time winningest coach in Division One college football. Story for another day, as I like to say. Also imposed was a $60 million fine, proceeds of which were to go toward an endowment for preventing child abuse. According to the NCAA, this was the equivalent of a typical year's gross revenue from the football program. A loss of total. We also lost a total of 40 initial scholarships from 2013 to 2017. During the same period, Penn State is limited to 65 total scholarships, only 2 more than the Division I FCS school is allowed. They're also required to adopt all recommendations for reform delineated in the Free Report, and Penn State must enter into an athletics integrity agreement with the NCAA and the Big Ten, appoint a university-wide athletic compliance officer and compliance council, and accept an NCAA-appointed athletic integrity monitor for the duration of its probation. And one other thing they announced, they also did on a Sunday, early Sunday morning, they took down the statue of Joe Paterno that was in the that was up for quite some time. They decided to take down that statue because they obviously wanted to remove all the ties with the late Joe Paterno, who passed away back in January of this year. All right, my thoughts on this. I mean, wow. I mean, those are just major sanctions, and there was also a chance that there was also a rumor going around that there was a chance they might have issued the death penalty against Penn State, which has not been seen in a Division I school since Southern Methodist University got hit with it back in 1987 for massive violations in their football program as well. And the NCAA, as you all know, they are required to consider handing down a death penalty if a certain school commits 2 major violations within a 5-year period. It also has the power to shut down a program without any preliminary sanctions in the event of particularly egregious misconduct. So, and of course, after the Louis Free report, the NCAA board gave Mark Emmert the power to impose any sanctions whatsoever, correct and punitive sanctions against both the Penn State football program and the institution as a whole, which he did. And I just mentioned those sanctions, and it's just a darn shame what happened, because I mean, for so many years, Penn State was one of the premier college football programs in the history of college football. 2 national championships in the Paterno era, obviously, but luckily for them, it was before this whole Sandusky nonsense. And who knows if this had happened, had they won their at least one or maybe both of their national championships during the Sandusky era, who knows? Maybe there's a chance that they probably would have been forced to vacate those as well. I mean, you never know what could have happened. But all I can tell you right now is it's just a damn shame, and you got to feel for all these student athletes. I mean, they didn't do a thing. I mean, this is all Jerry Sandusky. I mean, he's the reason why they're they're where they are right now, and it's a damn shame. And I know I probably would have mentioned this if we had done Strictly Sports tonight, but what happened with Joe Paterno, obviously it was determined that Paterno and some other people in the organization concealed the information against Jerry Sandusky and did nothing about it, which is absolutely, like we always like to say on the show, me and my panelists, we always like to say it's pointless, it's unnecessary, it's unacceptable, and it's inexcusable. And I mean, I gotta admit, I gotta probably go on the record and say this is the worst scandal in the history of college football. I mean, we always talk about pay-to-play situations where a student athlete always takes money or any kind of improper benefits while in school. I mean, you remember a few years ago the whole Reggie Bush situation at USC. You all know how that turned out. Just to give you an example of that. But all I can tell you is that this is, like I said, it's the worst thing to happen to college football and Penn State football this year. I mean, they are going to be under so much media scrutiny and backlash. It's not even going to be funny, and it is not funny at all. And I don't know what else there is to say. So I do wish Coach Bill O'Brien and whoever they have there now all the best, and hopefully this program can get better and get back to what it was before, which was one of the premier programs in college football, and also hopefully they can restore the integrity and class and honor that program once had before this ugly incident. So wish you all the best, and hopefully things will get better. I mean, it's going to take a while, obviously, but you never know, as they say. So, and of course, there was also, I do want to mention just something that came to mind real quick. A rumor that one of their players was considering transferring to USC. I believe it was Silas Redd, who was rumored to be having interest in transferring up to USC. Of course, USC had some problems of their own. Obviously, I think it was stemming from the Reggie Bush situation and some other things. They just went through a little incident of their own, but their postseason ban obviously now lifted. They'll be back. They are eligible for a bowl competition this year, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But those are just my brief thoughts on this Penn State situation. I feel terrible for all the victims and everybody else, and hopefully they can use these next 4 years as a healing process, and they can, like I said, restore the integrity and the honor that program once had. So I really hope for the best for them. Even though I'm a Notre Dame fan, I do hope when it comes to college football anyways, but all the best to them, and hopefully they can, find a way to get better. So, all right, that's pretty much it for that. Coming up next, we're going to talk some NHL. I'm going to give you my brief thoughts on the Shea Weber situation. He obviously re-signed with the Nashville Predators, and I'm also going to give you my thoughts on the big trade that involved my team, the New York Rangers, as Rick Nash, new signings. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. So until then, I'll see you in a few minutes. This is, once again, you're watching The Tone 25 here on YouTube.com. Bye for now.